And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Dr. Kimberly Stone.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here today. This is so impressive. I'm honored to be here with you. You know, I went to the awards ceremony last night, and I was so impressed. I'm just really excited, and now I want to get you excited and fired up about TrueScience. I hope to be able to share some of my experiences with you and hopefully give you some tips that you can use when you're explaining TrueScience to your clients. Reach up and touch your face. What do you feel? Look in the mirror. Okay, you probably don't have a mirror, but you could probably use your PDA. What do you see? You are looking at the largest organ and the part of you that everyone sees, your skin. Though often underappreciated, your skin performs many important physiologic functions and is extremely susceptible to free radical damage. To function optimally and to stay healthy, your skin needs nourishing with antioxidants from the inside as well as the outside. I think that it's important to be familiar with the anatomy of the skin in order to more fully understand how TrueScience works in the skin. The skin is a very complex and sophisticated organ. It is the largest organ in the body. And the skin consists of 3 main layers, each with its own function and purpose. The innermost layer is called the hypodermis, or the subcutaneous layer. It is the thickest layer of the skin and consists of cells that are specialized in accumulating and storing fat. These are called adipocytes. This fat is used as a fuel reserve and for insulating the body. The hypodermis is attached to the dermis just above it by collagen and elastin fibers. The middle layer of the skin is called the dermis, and that's where a lot of the action really takes place. It's comprised of hair follicles, tiny blood vessels, nerve endings, sweat glands, and the main cells in the dermis are called fibroblasts. Now, these fibroblasts produce 2 types of protein fibers. They produce collagen and elastin, and these are the pink kind of wispy fibers that you see surrounding the other components of the dermis here. Collagen fibers comprise 70% of the proteins in the dermis and help provide strength and resistance for the skin. Elastin gives the dermis its elastic properties. Now, since the dermis is vascularized, it also plays an important role in thermoregulation and healing. You could see the pores there with the sweat glands as well as the hair follicles with the sebaceous or oil glands, and these extend up into the epidermis. The epidermis maintains a barrier to keep vital nutrients in the body and damaging substances out. The epidermis is comprised of a stratified squamous layer. This means the cells are layered over each other. The squamous cells are the top cells in the skin. The keratinocytes mature over a 4 to 6 week period of time and move through to the upper layer of the skin where they're eventually sloughed off. The human skin is constantly renewing itself. The outer horny layer, or the stratum corneum, is essential to maintain a barrier. The corneocytes are filled with keratin, lipids, fatty acids, and ceramides. And this will be important as we talk about how TrueScience works in the skin. Melanocytes are the pigment-producing cells that are located in the deepest part of the epidermis, and they provide melanin or pigment to the surrounding keratinocytes. So I want you to keep in mind this diagram of healthy skin as we discuss exactly what TrueScience does. So here's a picture of beautiful, healthy skin. The aging process, along with oxidative stress due to environmental factors, contribute to the gradual loss of collagen in the dermis. Here you can see the histology, over in the second slide on the right, the histology of young skin with a thick dermis, with thick and rich in collagen and elastin fibers. In the middle, you see a middle-aged woman who has a moderate loss of collagen and elastin fibers, and you can see the wrinkle that's starting to form up in the epidermis. Lastly, the older woman has more severe loss of collagen, with prominent wrinkle formation in the epidermis extending down into the dermis and even into the subcutaneous layer. So how does this happen? How do we go from this perfectly smooth baby skin, in this photo we see of my youngest son Luke, to skin like this with decreased elasticity and wrinkles? In the middle picture, you can see the aging of the skin from the child to the mature adult. We all age, and some of us better than others. You know, I recently attended a class reunion, and I was really surprised to see how different people had aged. You probably all had this experience. After not seeing many of them for years, it was somewhat like looking at this photo where you flash forward 20 plus years. Now, genetics definitely plays a role, but I could also tell who had been careful, who had spent years in the sun, and who had been careful and protected their skin in the sun. Often I could tell who had smoked for years and who had not. Who in general had taken good care of their skin. It really does make a difference. So what can we do to prevent all of these wrinkles? And I want to back up just a little bit. And also, what do we do if we already have these wrinkles, or we're starting to get these wrinkles? What can we do to minimize them? Now, wrinkles aren't all bad, and I have patients tell me every day that they don't mind their wrinkles, their smile lines, their animation lines, but everyone wants to look their best. We want our skin to look young and healthy, not discolored or hyperpigmented, not saggy. That's not how we remember ourselves. Now with Protandim, we're all feeling so healthy, and our skin needs to look as good as we feel. The skin is a very important factor in aging. No matter what we do to strengthen or nourish our skin, if we don't protect it from the sun, we will continue to accrue rapid damage. Skin cancer is on the rise. I bet that many of you in this room have had some type of skin cancer or a pre-skin cancer. However, part of being healthy is being active, and we can't completely avoid the sun. Compare here the older and the younger skin, both clinically and histologically. You can see in the younger skin, in the slide down below, looking at the histology, look at just starting at the top layer, the stratum corneum, how that is thicker there. And the epidermis is thicker and healthier, and it actually has grooves in it which help give the skin movement. Look at the dermis. There's a huge difference in terms of the thick, rich collagen fibers in the younger person. So what causes aging? Free radical damage is one of the leading causes of aging in the skin. So what exactly are free radicals? I know. Now, I know that you all understand the mechanism of action and the clinical applications for Protandim, so this might be review for many of you. But when you use this term with people who aren't familiar with Protandim and TrueScience, how do you explain it to them? I have patients in my office every day who have heard the terms free radicals, free radical damage, oxidative stress, photoaging, but they're not really sure what it means. I find that when I speak to my patients about TrueScience, they don't really want a lecture on microbiology, but they want to understand it in a way that they will be able to remember. Earlier this week, I saw a beautiful woman in my office who's in her early 40s who had a laser procedure done a couple of weeks ago on her face, neck, and chest. Before the laser, she had had very significant sun photo damage and some scarring and such that she wanted to restore her skin so that she didn't feel like she had to wear makeup and cover it up, and so that she felt like she looked as young as she felt. Well, when I saw her this week, she's recovering beautifully, and I want to start her on TrueScience. I think the TrueScience will help aid in the healing, and then of course will help to maintain the results of the laser. But I wanted her to understand why it is really important for her to use TrueScience. So this is basically how I explained it to her. I wanted to empower her to use and understand TrueScience. So here is the way I would explain the mechanism of action to my patients or to your clients in a simple, easy way to understand. Healthy molecules have an even number of paired electrons. This shows 2 of the paired electrons in the outer shell, the black molecule on the left. For example, superoxide. It's oxygen with 1 extra electron that's not paired. On the right is our free radical molecule, for example, superoxide, and that's a molecule with 1 extra electron that's not paired. This unpaired electron makes it dangerous. It wants to pair with another electron. So it seeks out a healthy molecule and takes away an electron, making the healthy molecule turn into a free radical. This new free radical will then find another molecule to take its electron, and an extremely damaging chain reaction begins. There are so many causes of free radical damage or oxidative stress. Our body's normal metabolism produces free radicals. Our immune system is stimulated to produce free radicals to fight bacteria and viruses that cause infections in our bodies. This is a good use of free radicals. Other external causes are chemicals and environmental toxins, such as radiation from the sun, smoking, and pollutants. The process of free radicals modifies the structure of molecules within our cells, damaging them. When collagen and elastin fibers are damaged by free radicals, we see visible results such as wrinkles, decreased elasticity, premature aging, and we also see hyperpigmentation and skin cancer. On the inside, free radical damage is implicated in various diseases, including cancers, degenerative diseases, and inflammatory illnesses, as well as the aging process itself. The free radical theory of aging states that the accumulation of damage from these particles over time leads to cellular damage, degenerative diseases, and ultimately aging and death. So how do you fight this destructive pattern? With antioxidants. Our body has a natural defense mechanism to protect itself against the danger of free radical attack, antioxidants. Antioxidants are specific nutrients and enzymes that inactivate free radicals before they can damage our cells. So here we see another diagram of an antioxidant on the left, for example, superoxide dismutase, and two free radicals on the right side, the yellow ones. Each free radical has an unpaired electron. This diagram only shows the reactive electrons. The antioxidant is a large molecule that's able to accept an electron and hold on to it without becoming a free radical. It is then able to donate this electron to another free radical, thereby making it more stable. In effect, the antioxidant has taken an electron from a free radical and then transfers it to another free radical. And as a result, it repairs these electrons so that both free radicals now have paired electrons, and they aren't free radicals anymore. Antioxidants repair electrons from free radicals and get rid of free radicals. The damaging chain reaction is stopped. So, we know from Protandim that it is important for the body to produce powerful endogenous antioxidants. However, for the skin, it's also important to have exogenous antioxidants as well as endogenous antioxidants in order to keep up with the increasing number of free radicals due to environmental sources. Antioxidants can protect your skin from the inside out and guard your cells from damage. This is directly addressing the problem that causes premature aging and photo damage of the skin. This is why antioxidant, anti-aging products should be our first line of defense against these harmful particles. We want to prevent as well as repair. For our overall health, we need a healthy diet and supplements. But for the health of our skin, internal nourishment is not quite enough. Topical antioxidants are essential. Internal supplementation improves the levels of antioxidants in skin cells, but research now shows that topical application delivers these nutrients to the skin much more quickly. Countless studies demonstrate that topical antioxidants protect the skin from UV damage, reduce inflammation, and protect against certain types of cancers. Think about the structure of the skin and the important barrier that the epidermis provides. Once again, in order for topical antioxidants to adequately penetrate the skin, it's imperative that the anti-aging cream also have a sophisticated delivery system. Now, I want to pause for a minute and address the specific indications for TrueScience. TrueScience may potentially help prevent the formation of skin cancer, but it's not a treatment for skin cancer. Last fall at the Elite Academy meeting in San Diego, I discussed several of the potential uses of TrueScience in regards to skin diseases. And since that time, I've spoken with many of you over the phone, by email, some of you even in my office, about the clinical applications about TrueScience. And I want to make it clear that there is a difference between medical therapy and what is considered a potential use of this product. With its antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties, it may help these different conditions, and it has a lot of potential. However, it's not a medical treatment for these diseases. Right now, we cannot present it as a treatment for medical conditions. LifeVantage has ongoing clinical trials, and we're really excited about some of the new possible products coming down the pipeline and future treatments. But if you have a skin cancer or another serious skin condition, you should be seen and evaluated by a board-certified dermatologist. So, We all recall the endearing father in the movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Let's watch a brief clip from this.
My dad believed in only two things: that Greeks should educate non-Greeks about being Greek, and that any ailment, from psoriasis to poison ivy, could be cured with Windex.
I love that movie. It's a great one. So TrueScience is not Windex. However, it is a very powerful anti-aging cream. So what makes TrueScience different? Advertisements for skincare products can be overwhelming. Turn on the television, go online, open a magazine, I bet you'll see numerous advertisements for creams and lotions. And they all sound similar, and each one claims to be the best formulation to make your skin look young and healthy. So how do you know what to use? Are the more expensive products better than the less expensive ones? I get asked these types of questions every day in my practice. Oh, sorry, was that not up there? Apologize. So what makes TrueScience different? What makes it stand out among all the skincare products? Well, several years ago, when David Brown approached me about formulating an anti-aging cream, we carefully considered what would be the most important ingredients to have in this product. Each ingredient was selected for a specific purpose, whether it's for its antioxidant properties, its moisturizing effects, its delivery mechanism, or its fragrance. Then we did a clinical study to evaluate its effectiveness, the feel of it on the skin. We wanted it to be cosmetically elegant. The fragrance, that we wanted to be pleasant yet subtle. There were a lot of variables, and we went through numerous versions of TrueScience until we finally had the TrueScience. Now I'd like to talk about the difference in the different main ingredients in TrueScience, the combination of which makes it unique. As you know, all of the products are natural products. TrueScience has been formulated using a fluid emulsion system that ensures the optimal delivery of active ingredients into the skin. Lamellar phase refers to layers of lipids that imitate those found naturally in the skin. So lamellar phase emulsion system, how do we explain that? What does that really mean? I use this term when I'm talking to my patients. You may use it when you're talking to your clients. But what does it mean? Well, I've been thinking about this talk this week, and particularly about this. The other night, after my husband and I got the kids down, we realized that we hadn't done the dishes. So I watched my husband as he was putting a greasy pan under the water faucet and rubbing it and scrubbing it, and the grease was still there. It wasn't until he added a couple drops of soap that the grease began to dissolve in water. The soap altered the surface tension of the water and allowed the grease to dissolve. You all may have done this as a science experiment with your kids. So it is with the lamellar phase emulsion system. It allows the cream to be able to penetrate the skin barrier and deliver the active ingredients to the deeper layers of the skin. In doing so, it also helps draw water into the skin and helps to keep the skin moist. TrueScience also has other ingredients such as glycerin that help block the water from exiting the skin surface. This is very important. Think about the outer layer of your skin that we talked about, the stratum corneum. On the bottom of your foot, that's a good example, it's a thick, horny layer, and you can actually scrape some of it off without even feeling it. In order for a cream to get in and work, it must get through this layer. It can't just stay on top. Yeast extract is another important ingredient that provides free radical protection from the environment. It has a stimulating effect on cellular metabolism and promotes the efficient exchange of oxygen and nutrients. The next three that I'm going to talk about are important moisturizing components. I'm just going to go through each one individually. Sandalwood oil. This one comes from a small evergreen tree that grows up about 30 feet with leathery leaves and small purple-pink flowers. The essential oil is steam distilled from the dried and powdered roots of heartwood trees that are at least 30 years old. It is indigenous to tropical Asia. Sandalwood oil is highly moisturizing and helps to maintain the lipid barrier in the skin. Philodendron amurin's bark extract. The philodendron tree is a tree for all seasons. It flowers in the spring, it's green, provides shade and foliage in the summer. It has beautiful colors in the fall, and in the winter you see its textured bark and winding branches. This also is an important moisturizing ingredient. Barley. Hordeum consists of about 30 species of grasses that are native in the northern hemisphere, in South America, and in South Africa. Once again, it moisturizes and protects. So we're all familiar with aloe. We use it to soothe the skin after a sunburn, and it also improves the ability of the skin to retain moisture. Green tea. Green tea extract is an herbal derivative from green tea leaves. It contains catechins, which create an excellent antioxidant defense. It allows for capillary dilation, which is important because that increases the bioavailability of other ingredients in the formula. It has an inhibitory effect on collagenase, also important. That's an enzyme that breaks down collagen in the skin. Very important ingredient. Panax ginseng root. This ginseng is a slow-growing perennial plant with fleshy roots. It grows in cooler climates, mostly in northern China, Korea, and eastern Siberia. It contains potent gingenosides, the active components responsible for skin capillary dilation, tissue fortification, and antioxidant protection. This is another really important one. Turmeric. It's a perennial plant of the ginger family that grows wildly in the forests of Southeast Asia. It protects against free radicals. It is a powerful anti-inflammatory compound that helps reduce the cycle of inflammatory events that lead to premature aging. It also reduces hyperpigmentation, and it improves the overall appearance of the skin. Palmitoyl oligopeptide and palmitoyl tetrapeptide. This part of the anti-aging complex contains polypeptide signaling ingredients to stimulate a wound healing response in the skin. They reduce the signs of fine lines and wrinkles, and they provide nutrients in the skin that improve skin tone and texture. Whey protein, or milk-derived cytokines. These are key signal or regulatory molecules in the body that transfer stimulatory or inhibitory signals to the cells to render cell response or aid. Cytokines have anti-inflammatory and immune-regulating functions. They are important for cellular repair mechanisms and stimulate the potential for cell growth. Proprietary blend glycolipids, soybean phytosterols, sodium hyaluronate. The composition of these plant lipids mimics the naturally occurring lipid structure of the human lipid bilayer. They increase human hydration, skin hydration. They promote a healthy barrier. Leucogen, that slows the proliferation of melanocytes. Melanocytes, as you know, are the pigment-producing cells in the skin. Also reduces fine lines and wrinkles. So, in summary, TrueScience was specially formulated with all of these different ingredients, this shows some of them, to combine them into one cream. You have the sandalwood oil from Asia, the philodendron bark, amuren's bark extract, the aloe, the ginseng root from China or Korea, turmeric from Southeast Asia. Oh, sorry, this is the turmeric actually from Southeast Asia. And this is the only anti-aging cream that also has ingredients from Protandim. Now let me show you some clinical pictures from a clinical study that we did with TrueScience. I think the pictures speak for themselves. This is a patient of mine who showed significant improvement after just 16 weeks. I don't know how well you can appreciate it up here, but she has a significant reduction in erythema or redness, as well as a reduction in hyperpigmentation. Here's another patient. For this study, we used a very sophisticated camera computer system that's able to evaluate the topography of the skin. It can actually measure the wrinkles and different qualities in the skin. This patient had a significant reduction in wrinkles after only 12 weeks. She also had a decrease in hyperpigmentation that you can appreciate here. So how do we use TrueScience? Well, for maximum results, TrueScience should be used twice daily. The pump applicator is really convenient because it helps you to apply a consistent amount. You should use 2 pumps for the face twice a day and probably 3 pumps for the neck and chest. Sunscreen, I've said this before, sunscreen is imperative. It should be applied every morning over the TrueScience. If you're doing activities, it needs to be reapplied during the day. TrueScience is very moisturizing, so you may not need an additional moisturizer. Most people don't. However, if you do, or you feel like you need one, then it's fine to apply a regular moisturizer over it. Everyone's skin is different, and everyone responds a little bit differently. So who should use TrueScience? First of all, I've been asked about using it on children, and we just don't have studies at this time to support its effectiveness. So I've put ages 18 to 101. But I personally have my teenagers using it for its moisturization. We live in Denver, where it's pretty dry, and they're prone to mild eczema and skin irritations, and it's helpful with that. Both men and women should use TrueScience. My husband uses it as an aftershave. He says it helps with chafing and burning. And he honestly normally hates putting on lotions and creams. I can hardly get him to put sunscreen on because he doesn't like that greasy feel. Well, he loves TrueScience because it's a light, quick absorbing lotion that has no greasy residue. It also has a light, appealing fragrance. I actually keep an open bottle of it up on my front desk for patients to try it. And once they touch it and feel it, they love it. So if you aren't on TrueScience, then you need to start. I'm sure you'll love it. It's a great complement to Protandim. TrueScience will help your skin look and feel younger. It will make your skin beautiful. We all want to look as young as we feel. And finally, science has produced a truly effective way to fight the visible effects of aging. I hope you will all try it and get excited about it. It's a wonderful cream, and I'm really excited, and I'm happy to answer questions if you have any. Thank you.